You finish a heavy, high-calorie meal, and almost immediately you feel exhausted, grouchy, and somehow, miraculously, hungry all over again. There is a biological reason for this frustration. Despite consuming massive amounts of energy, your body is actually starving on a cellular level. This graph plots blood sugar after a high-sugar meal. The line surges upward. But as insulin is released, levels plummet into mild hypoglycemia, dropping well below where you started. Entering this artificial valley triggers intense cravings for more sugar. This schematic shows the cell membrane in a state of insulin resistance. Because chronic excess sugar is toxic, the cell protects itself by physically blocking and repelling incoming sugar molecules. Chronic fatigue and constant hunger are the direct symptoms of a biological engine rejecting a toxic fuel source rather than a failure of willpower. So, what actually happens to this insulin-resistant machinery if you completely eliminate sugar for exactly 14 days? The first 72 hours, often called the 3-day hurdle, can feel difficult because your body is treating the transition like an active cellular construction zone. During these 3 days, your cells are frantically assembling the brand new enzymes required to process a cleaner, fat-based fuel source. High levels of insulin signal the kidneys to hold on to sodium, which traps water in your tissues. As those levels drop during the first week, the kidneys finally release that salt, triggering a massive dump of up to 13 pounds of inflammatory fluid in just 7 days. You will see the indicators of this fluid dump immediately as your stomach shrinks and your clothes begin to loosen around the midsection. Surviving those initial 3 days permanently breaks the hypoglycemia cycle. The physical craving for sugar ceases to exist because the metabolic trap has been dismantled. Until week 2 activates a biological domino effect, where lowering your insulin triggers rapid healing across seemingly unrelated systems. The brain shifts from running on sugar to running on ketones, which instantly lifts the brain fog and restores sharp focus and attention. Ketones provide a steady fuel source, while simultaneously acting as a growth signal for brand new nerve cells in the brain. This flowchart shows the specific biological chain reaction that occurs in the skin. When insulin levels fall, androgen hormones balance out, which immediately shuts down acne production. In men, this same drop in insulin protects the body from the systemic issues associated with low testosterone levels. The transition to a fat-burning engine also drops systemic inflammation, which clears out unexplained joint pain and reduces stiffness in the arteries. The appearance of clear skin, sharp focus, and pain-free joints all stem from the same metabolic shift: the move away from sugar-induced inflammation. By day 14, these physiological changes move well beyond surface-level symptoms, and they begin reversing deep tissue organ damage. Your liver begins to clear as the body cannibalizes dangerous visceral fat to use as its new primary fuel. The kidneys also benefit, as removing the heavy filtration burden of excess sugar allows them to function with much higher efficiency. To make the transition easier, you can use nutritional yeast for B vitamins and extra potassium to neutralize the symptoms of the initial 3-day hurdle. This 14-day transition represents a total cellular reprogramming. By switching the body's primary fuel source, you replace a toxic metabolic cycle with a high-efficiency system that eliminates the chronic symptoms of modern life.